connecting Myanmar to Vietnam is a project of monumental importance, and the Thai Department of Highways is accelerating this link, and it will not be long before it will be completed. Let's update ourselves with the progress on this ambitious project.
What about the section in Myanmar?
In Myanmar,
The latest development?
the latest development right now is still the standard of the road. They have two-lane road most of the way.
I see.
But the condition
need to be upgraded.
With the government cooperation, government to government between Thailand and Myanmar, we give the support in terms of financially and construct some part of the highway in this route already.
I see.
Right now there is a project going on that the Department of Highway try to help to build the new route of the portion from Myawaddy to Kokalek. That is in part about.
How long is it?
We built the route 17 kilometers about 5 years ago.
I see.
And right now the condition need to be developed and expand the road a little bit. And we build further.
I see.
Another 28 kilometers from Myawaddy to Kokalek.
I see.
The whole project about 40 kilometers total.
What about the status in the Lao section?
The Lao section right now is two-lane highways. But the condition is okay in terms of road surfacing, but it's going to be like Thailand in 20 years ago.
I see. So still not so good.
We still need to
improve.
Help them to improve more and more.
And the one in toward Da Nang Port in Vietnam, the section?
The section right now, the road connectivity already have in place, but the condition again, that is need to be upgraded a little bit. But, the whole network,
mainly in Thailand.
Mainly in Thailand, and the quality of the road in Thailand, I think is a little bit above
the ASEAN
what
highway standards.
That's right.
And then the last but not least is the Southern Corridor, and it's linked to the now the so-called Tawai
Port
development project in Myanmar.
Yep.
And we heard that the Thai government is planning to build a motorway from Bangkok all the way to Kanchanaburi province near the border with Myanmar. So please talk about the latest development on this Southern Corridor.
Actually, for the Southern Corridor, from the concept of the Southern Corridor, they're trying to develop the linkage, the connectivity, all the port along the route in the south. When it's called Southern, they thinking about the from Andaman Sea at the Tawai Port, linking with the port in Thailand and Lam Chabang, and down south to Cambodia and to Vietnam, the port in Vietnam.
Ho Chi Minh.
Yep.
In the South China Sea. So it's all the way from the South China Sea to the Andaman Sea.
Yep.
Thailand in the middle.
That's the concept. Thailand in the middle.
Yes.
And if you know that by the domestic demand.
Yes, we already have
the network because of we have to bring our capital Bangkok.
Yes.
Capital of Thailand to the major port.
Lam Chabang.
Deep sea port in Lam Chabang.
Yes.
That's why we have the motorway already.
Yes.
To try to link that because of the domestic demand.
Yes.
But now when in a couple of years ago, when this have a solid that the wide port going to be developed, it's got the policy from the government that we have to get ourselves ready for the route, because right now we already have the route of the highway, but it's going to be just some part is two-lane highway, some part is four-lane highway from Bangkok to Kanchanaburi to the border at the Phunam Lon. We already have the road that connectivity is okay. But if it's gonna have to serve for the linkage, for all the container and logistic, more and more traffic with the trailer, semi-trailer coming. That's have to be think another perspective. We have to try to. That's why we try to look in our plan for the motorway, but that's based on the development of the Y. It's the foreign demand.
I see. So, Dr. Chayatan, what are the benefits for Thailand? Since we can see that we are actually in the center of this Indo-China mainland, Indo-China, and we have invested a lot of money into the highway networks. So, what we can expect to benefit from ASEAN connectivity toward 2015?
Yeah, I think like I told you that right now when people gonna think about the development of the country, every country have to think about the development in terms of the economic. But before you're gonna be able to do the economic development, the fundamental you have to think about infrastructure linkage. And then when you have the infrastructure linkage, it means that you starting to think about the draw more and more traffic, more and more development due to when you have the
road traffic,
food, the
cargo,
the product from the factory, the
raw
material that have to feed the factory base. If you have the good infrastructure, it means that you cut down the travel time or the transport time, save the cost. And then that's going to be the fundamental for the development of the economic.
I see.
And like you just mentioned, that Thailand by geographic, we have the very advantage. We are in the center of the region. And then if we can have the infrastructure that we tend to do for the last 50 years.
I see.
When we have the network linking, you can think it this way. In the past, if we have to try to get the natural resources, raw material from Laos, to try to bring it for the industrial park in Lam Chabang, near Lam Chabang. If you don't have the road networking, you have to brought this to the border to try to go to the port in Vietnam, shipping by the ship down south.
How many days? 1 week?
How many days? How many energy that you have to put on the cost? That's going to make the sort of the raw material cost is going to be high. But if you can have the easy
highway
transport
network
by logistic on the trunk of the highway network, you can cut the travel time down, the cost of the energy down, and then also the
at least it's the benefits for the manufacturing industry. What about the benefits for cross-border tourism, in your opinion?
For sure that when you have the country location that in the center, and also in Thailand we have many tourist attraction. The next thing that you have to try to draw the more and more tourists to come to Thailand, that's the convenience. And if you have the very good networking of the road network, easy to travel from place to place, you can cut down the travel time for the tourists. That's going to be more
convenient,
impressive when you have the tourists.
Once we have good network, tourists, we can cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 countries in a matter of just a few days, right? Rather than
that in the past,
weeks.
The tourists might have to come and spend 1 month in this region to go from place to place.
Every
but
country.
Now, that's going to be more attractive to all the tourists.
So in short, I would say that Thailand is now ready to connect with at least 7 other countries on mainland China, including Singapore, Malaysia, Myanmar, Laos, Southern China, Cambodia, and Vietnam.
You can say so, and then I can put it this way that the development and for the land transport connectivity,
Yes.
we far beyond the word of the readiness for the AEC in 2015.
And the standards also
The standard
high,
also higher
the
than-
ASEAN
than
standard, highway
the
standards.
minimum requirement, yes.
The minimum requirement. Okay. So thank you for joining our program.
Follow Towards 2015 every Wednesday and Thursday from 10:30 to 11 p.m. on ASEAN TV. And you can also follow us online via Facebook only on ASEAN TV.